Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Python tutorial, and I believe that you enjoyed the last video, which was a bit more intense in terms of dictionaries and ways of accessing dictionaries, and a little bit of a tip that I gave you at the end. There are many ways or many tricks you can use to get the information from a dictionary. You can play around with that and develop a lot of that. Don't be limited to just what I showed you. So this tutorial goes a little bit deep in terms of the concepts that we have covered. So far we have been writing scripts, right? If you recall from the very first tutorial, we discussed about two modes of Python, right? We have the interactive mode and we have the script mode, but then we never really discussed as to why scripts. So this tutorial, we're gonna start covering the script parts, right? So in Python, right, you can write a script and have methods inside the script, and we discussed about functions already, which are methods. Then you can use that script in a different script to do whatever that you want. For instance, in this tutorial, let's say for instance, we're just gonna do a little bit of just doing a math script. So I am gonna have a math module, and I will have my add, division, and subtraction, and then I'm gonna run those methods or call those methods in my main script, right? So I'm gonna have two scripts. So cool. Let's just discuss a little bit of theory. We're not gonna cover too much theory, so the topics is just the modules, right? And obviously you want to know what a module is first before you even start coding, right? So a Python script, so a module is a Python script that contains functions that you can use in your main script. Just as I mentioned in this tutorial, we're going to have two scripts, our main script and our math script, right? And then the question gets to be as to how. So since you say that, or since I'm saying that, okay, cool, I'm going to use those methods in my main script, how am I going to be able to access those functions inside my main script, right? That's one thing that one gets to ask themselves as, okay, cool, I get what you're trying to say, I get what you're trying to accomplish, but how do I actually accomplish it, right? Cool. So let's look at the syntax. Cool. So this is not going to be just limited to this, but I'm going to show you the tricks of how you can actually import, but there are various ways of doing it. Cool. So in this case, what we have is import, and then we have the module name, right? So I mentioned that we're going to create a script with the functions that we're going to use in our main script, right? So we're going to use the keyword import, and then we're going to import what? The library, right? And then this can go as deep as maybe you want to import a library from a certain directory or from a certain folder, right? In this case, we are just going to stick with just having our modules in just the same directory, right? We have two files in the same folder. So maybe in the next tutorial I might do one where we have a file inside our Python script inside a different folder, and then I first go to that directory and then I import that that script, right? But as far as the theory is concerned in this tutorial, this is what I'm just going to cover. And one last thing that I want to mention is that when you import your module, right, it's a module name. Don't include the .py, just the name of the module. That's what you import. Don't include the .py, just the name of the module. It will know. The Python, this import keyword just imports the name of that Python script, and then it already knows that it's a Python script. It just wants the name, right? So don't include the py. Cool. Let's get started. We're gonna go to our terminal, and just a little bit. Let's also have our compilation one. There we go. So we have our main, and then mkdir modules, right? That's what we have. Cd modules, cd modules. There we go. Cool. So let's start, right? So we're gonna start with our two files. So I'm gonna create touch. Okay, let me just use vim, and then I'm gonna say mathematics.py. The reason I'm avoiding this is because we already have a math library in Python, but I just want to create my own library or my own module to show you how you can actually create a module and use it in your code, right? So this is mathematics, and then I'm just gonna do this def addition. This you already know. So I'm just going to define this to just be limited to just two parameters. I have parameter A and parameter B, right? Cool. And then I'm just going to return the addition of those two parameters, which is just going to be A plus B. Now this you're familiar with. I want to focus more on using the library. So you're creating a file. This is what we already created before. And then we have def subtraction with A, then B, and then we're just gonna return B minus A. To do this in a way much nicer way, let's just do this. Because mostly when you create your module, you want to document it so that if someone else is using your module, if they are to go to your module, they'll be able to understand what each of those functions does, and then when they call upon those functions, they know they have a purpose as to what they want to do. So in this one, it adds A and B and returns their sum. Cool. Then we're gonna go to this. There we go. Subtracts B from A and returns their difference, right? And returns their difference. Cool. And then we have that, right? So you subtract B from A, then that way you understand, okay, why I'm subtracting B from A. You can define it to just be A minus B, but in this case I'm subtracting B from A, right? Def multiply, and then I have A and B, and then I'm just gonna return A times B, and same thing, multiply A and B and return their product, right? And then cool. And then I go to def division. There we go. Divide B by A and return their quotient, right? Return their quotient, and then let's do 3. There we go. And then it's B divided by A. But say this is not really enough, because if in case A is 0, I want to have a specific message printed out, right? So you can't divide by a. So I will just add on my document that if a is okay, so this one just say this provided a is not 0. Cool. If a is 0, return a string, a message string. Return an error message. Return an error message, right? Cool. So this is gonna require us to do a conditional statement that if a is not equals to 0, then what we're gonna do is return the quotient, else return what? Cannot divide by 0. Cannot divide by 0, right? And that's as far as our mathematics library is, right? I think let's create another tab. Cool. So we have, this is our code, right? So if I was to just zoom out, this is what we have. This is our module. It's just a Python script with the functions. You already know about functions from the previous tutorials, right? Cool. So now we're going to create our main script. So far we only have the mathematics script, right? So we're going to create the main file, right? And then recalling from our slides, I said that in order for you to be able to access the methods from the module or from the script that you created, you must first import it. By importing it, you're giving access to the methods inside that mathematics module, right? So in the slides is import and then the module name, which is just mathematics, right? And then there we go. And then I did mention that I'm going to show you how you can import in various ways, right? So this is the first way. So I'm just going to say this first way of doing it, way of importing. This is the first method. There we go. And then from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have my main method if, and by the way, don't be just limited to what I'm doing instead of just this. So I'm just using the main method like this, but you can just start coding from here and just access the method as it is. But in this case, I'm just choosing to go with just this method, right? So I'm gonna say so I'm gonna get the first two numbers. Okay, wow. True. Cool. I think I gave you a task to do the math calculator, which makes use of loops, I believe. I don't know if I did. If I didn't, then this is gonna be new, but it's not that new. It's the same thing, right? So I'm gonna have three variables. Okay, I'm gonna have four variables, right? The first one is a int input enter the first number, and then b int enter the second number, right? Here we go, enter y. There we go. and then op is an operation, right? Input, which is just a string, inter plus division minus or multiplication, right? Operations. Cool. There we go. Based on that, you're just gonna choose the operation, and then status, right? This is just a yes or no. Input continue, it's yes or no, right? Just do it like that. Cool. Now if op is equals to plus, then what do you want to do? Print sum of stra plus space strb, right? Plus space plus, so I'm gonna say, so since I've imported the library as it is, I'm gonna use the name of this library, then I am gonna go there dot, and then I'm gonna be able to access these methods, right? If you were on IDE, it was gonna give you the options of all these functions. Since I'm on my editor, I know that this is what I want, right? So let me just copy the whole of it, and then I paste it there. Then my A is A and then my B is B, right, based on this. So basically I'm going to pass in those two parameters, right? And then that's it. So let's see if we try to run this as to what is going to happen. Cool. Python 3 main, main, right? Enter the first number 50, second number 60, right? And then I want plus. Yes, I want to continue, and then it says int is not a string, so I have to convert what I'm returning from my function to a string, since I'm doing a string concatenation. There we go, and it should be fine. Nope, it's not fine at all. I have added the wrong, so there we go. I have that, and yeah, now we should be fine, except for that I'm missing one thing. So I took out M, and then there we go. Let's clear this. Math 50, 60 plus, and then it's yes, and then there we go. That's the sum, right? So in this case, if I wanted, I could have just done this. To make it much easier, then you can just say this. There we go. So this is plus. Ooh, what am I doing? There we go. There we go. So this is plus that, and this is gonna be that, and it's gonna have a nice message. And this we wanna do after, right? So this is just something we have for now, and let's just complete everything. Cool. I will further explain, even though you understand this. And then elif or p is equals to minus print. Okay, I'm just gonna copy what I have there and just edit that to make it easy, but in your case you might just want to do everything from scratch, just so that you get used to the syntax. I'm used to the syntax, right? So this is subtraction, and I'm subtracting, right? And this is gonna be difference of and I'm subtracting B, right, from A according to my function. So I'm subtracting a from b. If I'm not mistaken, I'm subtracting a from b, which is what I'm gonna get there, and I just have to change my function name. Instead of addition, I'm gonna do subtraction, and we get there. Change that name to subtraction, and that's what we have. If OP is equals to, what do we have? Plus, addition, division, maybe. There we go. And then we're just gonna copy the whole thing. I'm copying the wrong thing. I wanna copy this and paste it there. Then this is gonna be division of b. We're dividing b by a, right? We're dividing b by a, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, dividing b by a. And there's something we did miss there. That's subtraction, right? Okay, we did change the subtraction. This is gonna be STR. There we go. There we go, and we're just gonna divide, right? Right? It should be fine, except for that we have to change this function name to a different function name, which is division, right? Okay, mathematics dot division, right? Then I'm passing my a and my b, and I forgot that one. Cool. If OP is equals to, so we just need multiplication, and let's copy the first one. Cool. So, and then it's multiplication, that is changed to multiply, and then I have that. Then I just have to change the function name and give it multiply, and I multiply. There we go. Else print, and then it's OP not available, not valid, something like that. If you try to use an operator that doesn't exist, right, it gets to be like that. And then we have these, right? We have this, which I should there we go, and we are here. So what we're gonna do there is just take this guy, put him down there. Cool. And then I have this guy. So if status equals n, what's gonna happen is break. Cool. So let's bring it down, right? Let's bring it down, because yeah, I've been too fast. Let me go through what's happening. Okay, let's first check our program first, and then we're gonna come back and fully explain the program, right? Cool. Let's run our program. Valid syntax for minus. It's that if OP Let's check this. There we go, and then we have that. That's closing that. That's cool. And then let's check the difference as well. This is just in there we go. We don't have a closing for that as well. And then let's check the division. Our division is fine. Multiplication is fine. Everything should be fine now. Cool. I have the first number, right, which is 100. Second number is 300. And then I choose to add. So right, sum of 100 plus 300 is 400. Now I want to continue, right? And then I provide maybe, so I'm gonna subtract b from a. So say I have 5. I have what's the rule again? I'm subtracting a from b. Oh, I'm subtracting a from b. So let's say this is 100 and our b is 500, right? And then I want to do subtraction. So 500 minus 100 is 400. And then yes, I want to continue. And then I want to do multiplication. So I have 5 and 5. And then I want to multiply, right? So 5 times 5 is 25. And then yes, I want to continue. Then I choose the division, right? So I'm dividing b by a, right? And then if I check my program there, my b is 90 divided by 3. And then I want to divide. So that's the division. I want to continue. And then it's 90. First number is 0. And then whatever number I put there. And then I want to divide. Cannot divide by 0, right? That's the response. So our program is working the way we want it to work, and you could possibly change it in terms of giving it the look, make it look nice, make it make it user friendly in a way. I know this is text based, but you can make it look a bit nicer. Cool. So let's just go through what we did in small steps, right? So we started with creating a function or a method called okay, let me just close all of this so that I can explain in a simple terms. And then if I say no, our program closes, right? So our code is working the way it's supposed to work. Let me close these tabs, cool. Are you guys ready? Cool. So we started creating this method, right? This is a library that we're creating, and then inside the library what we wanted is just define 4 methods, right? So vim mathematics, right? And then inside there we have 4 functions, right? The first one is addition, and then inside there we have what? We have a method, we have a string that is helping us understand what a method does, right? This one, it just adds a and b and then returns their sum. And then that's what we did in the first function, right? Hope everybody now is following through. And then we went further to subtraction, right? And then this is the text: subtracts b from a and returns their difference. So we have b and then we have a. So we are just subtracting a from b, right? According to the instruction. And that's what we did. And then we went further and did multiplication. So in this one, we have the text: multiply a and b and return their product, right? And that's what. And then we have division, which is dividing b by a and then return their quotient or quotient. Yes, provided that, let me just change that first. Cool. Provided that a is not 0. If a is 0, return an error message, and we chose to have this kind of error message. That's basically what we did. We created a Python script with functions, right? Cool. Now, after that, we wanted to create our main, but our main has to make use of the functions inside this script that we just created. So the first thing that we did was what? Was to import this script into that main script. So basically we imported all the functions in the script from that library, right, or from that main, right? And then I have vim, and then I'm not opening a new file, I'm just opening that file. There we go. And then if I zoom out, you see I just have the first import, right? And then I did say that I'm going to explain other methods. I'm going to explain after I explain the whole program, right? And then this is the whole program, which makes use of what we have in our as we're running it. You saw how the whole thing works, right? So what happens is that our main method, which is just an if statement, basically this is always true because this is the main, and then from there what I want, I just created a while loop, and then inside there I have 2 prompts. So I prompt the user to enter the first number and the second number, and then they choose the operation, and then from there if they choose addition, then we're just gonna do addition. If they choose subtraction, and then we're just gonna go with subtraction, and then if they choose division, and then we're just gonna perform division. If they choose multiplication, then we're just gonna do multiplication. If they choose an operation that is not one of those 4, and then for now we're just gonna say that operation is not valid. And then after that, right, I ask whether they want to continue or not. And then if they don't want to continue, and then I break my loop, and that will be the end of my program. That's what I did. I know this is a little bit overwhelming, but just walk through it step by step and it will make sense. Just as I've said, it's gonna get a bit tough and tough as we go further, but if you are willing to learn, and if you know and you understand that things don't just come easy, you got to go through the process, it will become easy. I also started somewhere, right? We always have to start somewhere at some point. So I also started somewhere. I was clueless as well, but I managed to understand, and here I am now sharing the videos with you guys, so that you guys can also rise and understand the coding and be able to do whatever that you want with the code, because there's a lot that you can do. This is just the beginning of the whole thing. We're still gonna do lots of stuff. For instance, you can create a program that creates a CV. You can create a program. I don't know if you can only also see how we're gonna get to use API. Maybe if you want to just create a program that someone can use on their computer instead of going directly to Google Calendar, you can just create a program that allows you to create a slot for a certain event or a certain whatever that you want to have. Maybe you have a session with someone, just do that with your program. So basically, code makes life easy, and based on how well you play around with that code, you can make your life super easy, right? Cool. So let me just share what I said I was sharing in terms of importing, right? So for now, this is the first method. The first method I can use the keyword from, and then I specify the module name, and then import. That's the keyword. Now I can import the function name as it is. So I can just import one specific function, or I can import all functions. So you use an asterisk for that. In this case, we'll use mathematics. If I do it this way, then I don't have to first say mathematics dot subtraction. I just call the method as it is. I'll be able to access that. So that's another way of importing. The other way is you can import mathematics and give it a name as MP or as maths. So this is you giving your name, and so this is you naming this module of yours inside your main function. So basically imported this library as maths, meaning that when you access the methods, instead of using mathematics, you're just going to use maths. I'm not going to do the coding for this one, but you guys can play around with this and see how it works, and choose how basically you're going to choose which method you want, and then you're also gonna go and search as to when should I not use a specific method, especially this method. Because if you have another module with the same functions, you're gonna have a problem, right? Because you're gonna confuse your interpreter in terms of which method am I using, right? So be careful in terms of this. But since you're still on the learning curve, do learn, do explore, and you will find yourself understanding most of these concepts. I will see you guys in the next week tutorial. And just one thing that I want to mention is that previously I was supposed to have a video for strings. It was there, but somehow when I was looking at my tutorials, there was something that was not making sense, because I was taking note of my videos just to know as to what then was there, so that when I do future tutorials, I know that I'm saying something that I've already covered, right? So the strings method somehow it's missing, and I am gonna include it in the video. And yeah, so I'm basically gonna create a new video and create it, meaning that when you see this video, you're gonna be seeing the other video as well out. Yeah, that's basically it. Happy coding, guys, and happy, it's not really a long weekend. Yeah, because I'm doing the video today and Friday. No, it's Saturday. Monday it's a holiday, I think, then Tuesday. But yeah, may the code be with you, and may you guys enjoy. Don't be overwhelmed. It takes time. Learn at your own pace, so that you can fully master the concepts and not try to act or be seen or act as if you know while you don't know, because you need the skills in order for you to develop whatever software that you want to develop. So yeah, I shall see you guys next week.